are now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Hey, it's the Sportz Nutz.
Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Buy one, get one 50% off drinks.
Tequila's Grill Mexican restaurant has homemade salsa bars. They have the most authentic, most delicious, and most affordable Mexican cuisine in town.
What is going on, my beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Sportz Nutz. Yes, we are here today. We actually have a special guest on today. We are talking with the athletic director of your Clemson Tigers. Cannot wait to talk about it. Hey guys, want to let you know quickly, we are actually going to be live this Saturday, so come and check us out if you can. If you are wanting to see what it's like to be around the Sportz Nutz, come check us out at Tequila's Grill in Easley. We'll be giving away t-shirts, gift cards to baseball games, discounts, gift cards to restaurants. You name it, we got it all. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys definitely get a chance to tune into that episode as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, also, excuse me. Shout out again also to my daughter's softball team last night. They they did lose. However, Addison went 3 for 3 with 3 singles and 3 RBIs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this man right here, Shane Owen. How you doing, man?
Man, doing good. Just had to get some parts finished up, so came in here for a little early lunch and let's get a good talk on this nice hump day morning.
That's right. Can't wait to get it going. All right. For those who are also listening on TigerNation.live, thank you guys for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, Mr. Graham Neff. How are you doing, sir?
Brandon, Shane, good morning. Thanks for having me. Shane, I saw in the promo intro there, you had Tigers but you had some Gamecocks there too. I saw maybe a Mike Vick deal. So I know you guys wear a lot of hats, but I appreciate the Tiger paw being prominent there. You got your
look, he's got his hockey.
yeah. I'm from Virginia, but I actually had a cousin that wrestled there at Clemson, and they did a whole lot for one of his sons who had JMML. I don't know if you've ever heard of Lachlan, the Lachlan Tannery Foundation. That's actually my first cousin, Mary Jason.
Right?
So
yeah, very familiar with the story, and I think they have a family member that actually lives in the neighborhood I do. So yeah, familiar with them for sure.
So Graham, obviously I'm extremely excited that I have you on the show. You don't know how much this means to us to have somebody take their time out of their day to come spend a little time with us, talk some sports. And obviously today we got the news of a lifetime basically for the upstate of South Carolina. Obviously it kind of broke almost at midnight last night. No real word about it until like around 10 o'clock or so. Limestone University is ceasing operations officially in the next couple of weeks, if that even. That there are so many stories about the athletes that are part of the program that they now have no place to go. And what type of impact does this do to the entire upstate of South Carolina?
Well, a couple things with it. One, and I start actually our head women's basketball coach, Sean Poppy, who we hired a year ago. He's an alum of Limestone. He played ball there. So it hits close to home. So Sean and I were actually talking about it, I guess week before last while Limestone was figuring out their plan. So yeah, the effect, no doubt, of current students and student athletes, but to your point, alums and former players. It's significant. All that to be said, indicative of, just higher education right now. There's just a lot of moving parts. And so for us in athletics, and, certainly Clemson is in a different construct than Limestone is. But, in a very simple way, I view, our job here in athletics is we're a platform and a marketing component in some regards to our university. And at Clemson, obviously, it's a whole lot more than that, or it over indexes on the importance, the role, the opportunities that athletics plays for our university with student body, number one student experience, and what 7 Saturdays, but also what all of our sports mean to the university of student body, certainly alums, engagement, fundraising opportunities, brand, enrollment, and applications. It all gets interrelated. But my point is, in a very, and I'll link it back, Brandon, to your Limestone point. In a very simple sense, we can think big of all these things that athletics does in college athletics and at Clemson, but in a very simple sense, we're a component, we're an auxiliary unit of the university, and we sit here on a higher education campus. And right now, there is a lot that's going on from a business sense, again, to your point of ceasing operations for Limestone and the academy. And so for us in athletics, just to be really well run and an important component to our university, but also to be connected and understand that, gosh, that dynamic right now of American higher education and here at Limestone, it's really, really dynamic. And so certainly an unfortunate situation at Limestone. A lot of ramifications there, but it gets back to the importance of the role that we play in athletics and what that even means here at Clemson.
My brother-in-law, Zane, went to Limestone, and he said it hit really hard with him too. And it's devastating impact. Ellis and Bradley this morning on Whistle 100, they said that it's like $150 million economic impact that's going to take effect in Gaffney, and
Cherokee County. Yeah, it's just no question. There's a lot of good Tigers up there too. We spent some time up there a lot, but that community and economic effect is real for sure.
So I want to switch over and I want to go to the program at hand. Obviously, Brad Brownell has done a tremendous job with this program, especially the last couple of years. To see the Elite Eight run happen, gosh, I got to tell you, Graham, I was on pins and needles. I was praying everything imaginable. Get him to the Final Four. Get him to the Final Four. And I know it's coming. I know it. I feel it. Gosh, I'm even going to say I taste it. It's coming. That I think we're on the precedence of seeing greatness come about in Clemson basketball. And, what is the sentiment around campus, around the community about the basketball program?
Well, a couple things. I appreciate the anxiety around it of those games. I know for me, there was a couple viral videos of me losing my mind as well. But just incredible stretch. And again, it's easy to point to this past year, record-breaking 27 wins, 18 ACC wins, beat Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky. And then to your point, Brandon, last year or the year before, which was Elite Eight year. But honestly, if you look at, and Brad's been here 15 years, and I know there's been a lot written and talked about with that. But the last 8, it is arguably, I'd say maybe inarguably the best stretch of 8 years. That goes back to our Sweet 16 in 2018. And so from a statistical standpoint, we're top 4 in the ACC in wins and in total wins and a lot of achievements and first team, all ACC type players that we're going to see some of those that have finished playing here recently, up in the Little John Legends rafters. So it's been a run, not just this past year or 2 years. No doubt those are some high water marks, but it's been a consistent, sustained success. That's just, doesn't have Clemson basketball doesn't have some of that history of consistent, sustained success. And so Brad's developed that, earned that, taken a lot of time, but also with Brad, part of that story for him is heck of a basketball coach, no question, and staff, and comes down to the players. But just the comprehensive nature, how Brad's continued to build the program. That means former players and alums and donors and support and facilities and academics with the student athletes and conduct and all these aspects that it takes now, the quintessential CEO of major programs. And Brad has done that best for Clemson basketball. And so now as we're in the transfer portal revenue share era, the importance of roster construction and player evaluation are attributes for head coaches, no matter the sport, that are more prominent than ever. And I think that Brad has that. He's shown that, how he constructs and puts a roster together. And then ultimately, leads them through the year. And so those attributes are continued to go up the food chain for coaching. And I'm proud of what Brad's achieved, but then also what's ahead for the program to a lot of your point there, Brandon.
Like I said, I feel it. I mean, and my wife had said it. Everybody I know has said it's coming. I would not put it past within the next couple years, Clemson hoist that Covenant Trophy. I can see it coming. I really feel it. I mean, obviously the football. I mean, gosh, the football is something else. It's some of the most electrifying events. But Shane has something he wants to ask you about baseball. Shane, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, we've always seen Clemson, especially in the past. Their baseball programs always, almost every year host a super regional, and all. But now this year, man, you guys are taking off big time. Top 5 in the nation. Everything's kind of getting back to prominence. Kind of just fill us in on what the kind of excitement is around the baseball program now. Not only the baseball program, with the newly formed softball program, everything with the spring sports going on and in such a great direction. So, kind of give us an idea of what it's like around town there.
I appreciate it, Shane. No question. I mean, we have 21 sports here at Clemson and added 2 over the past 3 years with gymnastics and lacrosse. As Brandon well knows with your daughters, but and then 6 years or 5 years before that, Shane, to your point, with softball. So 21 sports here at Clemson. So a comprehensive athletic department that we want to win in everything. The business aspect, the revenue starts with football. We all know that, and so we have been and will continue to be heavily invested in football at Clemson. That's a business strategy, let alone certainly a department prominent strategy. That being said, all 21 sports really matter, and I couldn't be more excited, pleased, proud, excited as far as where we sit competitively. We have a scoreboard here in athletics, and so winning matters. So the competitive piece, but then also just how we're positioned ahead, specifically with baseball. Shane, listen, Coach Back this is year 3. Have hosted been national seeds for 2 years. We're in prime position to have a great postseason set up this year as well. So that is all quite frankly was part of the strategy and evaluation and opportunity that Eric wanted to come back to Clemson from Michigan, where he took Michigan to a national championship game, right? Was 1 game away at Michigan. And so now you overlay Clemson's tradition and resources and in state of South Carolina and recruiting footprint. Just got really excited about where Eric could take it competitively, and we're seeing that immediately. That being said, some of the cool things, and you talk about, Shane, hosting here in Doug Kingsmore, our home games and the environment, and the community, what's it like around town, to your point, but then also for postseasons, regionals, and supers. What Eric's done and the focus for his players onto the game environment, but then also just within our community, that has been beyond expectation. And his, I'm just going to amplify. I think that the story's out there, but it needs continued prominence of his connectivity and respect of servicemen and women and our veterans here. That during the 4th and 5th inning, where we always do at Clemson, right, is Memorial Stadium. Like, that connectivity, the military heritage is incredibly strong. But we recognize and salute our veterans. But Eric has the players come out of the dugout and go up into the stands, shake their hands, give them an American flag, and notice that they'll look them in the eye, shake hands. Like, a lot of that just development as men and people is something that Eric's so strong on. And when we sing the national anthem and that level of respect. And so, those values, one of our university values is patriotism. And so that connectivity that Eric has for the baseball program and what that looks like for our fans, but then what that looks like in support of our university is really, really special. So we can win all the games the rest of the way, and we're all going to be super, super proud and pumped with that. But also just the pride that I hope we all have in how well run our programs are, all 21 of them, but in particular baseball led by Coach Backett.
You mentioned the gymnastics, and this year, I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks ago almost, I had the privilege of taking my girls to Little John to see a gymnastics match. They're playing Penn State. It was senior night. And
not an easy ticket, Brandon. You get some connections or something in there, yeah.
So my wife worked. You may have heard this about the school. It's called Lakes and Bridges Charter School in Easley. It's the first school of its kind. It's a all dyslexic school. Well, one of her coworkers is a season ticket holder for them, and we got the tickets from them. And Graham, when I tell you my daughters had an absolute blast, oh my gosh, they were smiling ear to ear, and the level of competition that those young ladies bring to every match is unprecedented. It's top notch, A+ everything. I mean, they some of these moves that these girls are doing. I mean, it is mind blowing to see the level of competition they can bring. And here was what was interesting is that a lot of the seniors that were graduating, they were coming from Utah State. Was really interesting to know that. But can you kind of idea of what is possibly next for the gymnastics program? Obviously, 2026. When does the 26th season begin?
So a couple things, and I want to jump to a personal comment there before I get into the gymnastics discussion, because Lakes and Bridges, where your wife works, is a really, really special place. So my oldest, Grady, actually has dyslexia, and he's a second grader, and so Chris and I have been navigating just that and his curriculum and education and development as parents, and have just found our community within the upstate here has so many resources to students, children that have that type of development circumstance. And so Lakes and Bridges being one, there's some other right schools in the area, and the resources that even our public K-12 schools have, we've been incredibly pleased and just impressed with, and are going to continue to pour into that. So that's a personal note, Brandon, and it's great to know, and incredibly appreciative of your wife and her service at Lakes and Bridges and what that does, what that school does for our community. And the Neffs are certainly are supportive and well versed within the community of dyslexia. All that to be said, to jump back to, so from a personal note to professional. Here's the thing. Here's how I see Clemson or gymnastics. And again, we've had 2 years, so I've learned a lot as well. But I think gymnastics, unlike any other sport, you watch it, Brandon, to your point, and it's one of those that we can't do that. If you compare it to other sports, golf, and Shane, you can square one up and hit a drive 250 probably if you get lucky or whatever, right? Or tennis, we can go out there and serve. Or football, we can kind of do some of the. We can all stand and make some free throws, maybe. Certainly not to the level of student athletes and the competitive excellence that they have, but we can do that, or we have done a lot of those things in a lot of other sports. But gymnastics, most all of us can't do the things that they do. And so just like the amazement of the competition and just the excellence that they have is so unique. And so I think that's just why there's so much interest in the sport growing nationally, let alone how the communities wrap their arms around Clemson gymnastics for 3 years now, 3.5 years since we announced the program, 2 years of competition, and just the prominence, the season tickets, the promotion of Clemson gymnastics and our student athletes has been incredible. The season starts for next year. We'll have a exhibition meet in December, so it'll be end of this calendar year. Now they're officially in off season and training and getting healthy, so to speak. Obviously, we're searching for our next head coach. We're right in the middle of that. Couldn't be more excited there for what's ahead for Clemson gymnastics, with the facilities, the branding, the acceptance within the community. It is really, really special. We have a top 10 job in college gymnastics, and I'm excited for what year 3, which is in 2026, Brandon, what that looks like.
I gotta say, man, those young ladies, they are phenomenal. And you're right. There's so many things I'm like, man, I really wish I could be that like athletic and springy. So I didn't tell you this, but everybody knows it's well known. I had a widowmaker heart attack July of 2023. And it's been a very traumatic experience. I had quadruple bypass surgery. So I'm actually coming up on my 2-year heart anniversary, they call it. And I am, I didn't know what it was like to, really enjoy life, unfortunately, and now I get that privilege. I have, like I told you, I have a 9-month-old. Her name is Aspen. We were blessed with her finding out that we were pregnant that same year after I had the widowmaker. And, you know, my daughter Addison is I will tell you this too, Graham. There's 3 schools that she has mentioned that she wants to go to play at. And I go, where? First one was Clemson. The second one is Furman, because I used to be the producer of Furman Athletics. And this one, I promise you, Graham, this is the best answer. She wants to go to Vanderbilt because they have the coolest looking uniforms. That was her answer. I love it. And so,
but you're talking gymnastics, so uniforms being leotards or Leos, as they say.
No, she wants to play softball.
Softball. This is your softball that went 3 for 3 with 3 ribbies. Got it. Okay.
Yep. So, you know, she loves being in the athletic world, and me getting the chance to see my kids enjoy what I enjoy doing. It's just something special. So my wife and I, we have said our goal this coming fall is to take the girls to Memorial Stadium to go watch one of the best football teams there is in Clemson football. And, you know, like the experience I've heard has been is like anything else in the world. Obviously, you guys just had the Savannah Bananas there. Can you kind of give a little tutorial for people who have not had the privilege yet to go to Memorial Stadium, what kind of experience they could get on a game day?
It is unlike any other, to use your phrase. You know, we open up week 1 Saturday of Labor Day weekend with the LSU Tigers coming, so that is sure to be atmosphere to be a 10 out of 10. The Savannah Bananas, listen, like what an incredible evening for our community and stadium. There were so many. It was just a different environment. There were so many Clemson fans and upstate fans, so to speak, or upstate residents in our community. But also there was so many it was their first, a little bit to your point, Brandon, their first time to Clemson or to Memorial Stadium. And so things like that from activities and events that we bring to our university, sure. But our community, it's focal to what we do. And so I think the Bananas was probably that to a 10 out of 10 as well, of just what that environment was like. But the excitement of it, it was just, and we learned a lot as a department from what the fan experience and promotions, right? Bananas they think differently, and that's shown by way of how they've grown their brand and the entertainment value. And so there are things that we have and will take from how the Bananas does things that we can implement in all of our venues in sports, but certainly football, to your point. So Memorial Stadium on 7 Saturdays in the fall, unlike anything else. Howard's Rock, the Hill, but also listen, like for us, we talk about it driveway to driveway. When you leave your house, Brandon, in the fall with your fam and you guys come down to a game, you need to come down to a game, please. Let me know. We'll help.
Absolutely.
And you leave a driveway. So like what traffic looks like coming down 123 from Easily, like it's not easy. And so we think a lot about the driveway to driveway experience, not just the 60 minutes between first kickoff and the final whistle. And so, and it's not easy. Listen, 80,000 coming into College Town, Clemson. So the feedback, the experience that we try to provide, it looks a little different for everybody, but by and large, that core and focus of what you get and spending the day with us, or even just 3.5 hours, it is really, really special.
You know, I'm going to say something, and Shin has one last question from his area, then he has to hop off. But I used to work for a company called Universe. It's a uniform delivery company, and I every Friday I would go down there. I'd hit Tigertown. I'd hit the Chipotle, everything. It was all in that area. I would be in. Every time I got to go by the stadium, I was just in like shock and awe, because there's something about going to football stadiums that just it hits differently. I've seen a lot. I've been to a lot of stadiums, but I gotta say, you guys have it, especially at nighttime. It's one of the most like illustrious looking locations. It's so beautiful, and just keep going on that. That you guys are hitting the nail on the head on the stadium. All right, Shane, you go ahead and ask your last question, sir.
Oh yeah, well, I'm gotta run back to work and all that, but before I go, just want to get kind of your idea and kind of see what you're looking like maybe the next five years down the road, if you can look that far ahead. Just kind of give us a little bit of insight on what might be coming, to the town of Clemson, and kind of what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, thanks, Shane. Thoughtful question. A couple things. I'll answer it two ways. One, right, the business of college athletics has changed significantly over the last 5 years, and anticipate that to change even more, quite frankly, in the 5 years ahead, which is your question. So, right, this inflection point of NIL to revenue share, obviously transfer portal, right, and there's pros and cons, and I know there's feelings that we all have in and around the changes. But the reality is, of my job is for us to continue to position Clemson to be able to be aggressive and proactive and ahead of these changes. And that means competitively, sure, but that also means how we run our business, while always keeping Clemson, right, and the values and the way we go about our business. So that's kind of the calling card, so to speak. For us, we're going to have to continue to raise revenues. And so you'll see continued professionalization as far as our revenue generation, and certainly how we construct rosters and coaches and things like that, while recognizing it's still importantly scholastic in nature. It's college athletics, they're students, and keeping the main thing of academics and graduation, of which Clemson does. Our marks of academic progress and graduation success are top in the country, literally top 5 in the country of public schools. And so the pride and the support from IPTAY and our donors and ticket holders remains core to that. While we have to adapt the business, grow revenues, be strategic around how we revenue share with our student athletes and how we facilitate NIL opportunities. That's the competitive edge. That's really, really important. So that's the business model. My second part of my answer, Shane, to your question of 5 years ahead. Even from a facility standpoint, it gets connected, but it's continued investment in Memorial Stadium. Brandon, you're talking about just it's all inspiring in a lot of regard, but we got to continue to invest there in infrastructure and restrooms and concessions and Wi-Fi and points of sale and those type of amenities and things, because the discretionary dollar of our community and of our supporters, it's harder than ever, right? So we have to continue to make it compelling. Not only for the product that's on the field and success and something to be proud of and scoreboard, but also that driveway to driveway. So that means infrastructure and opportunities at the stadium. So I do envision, Shane, that we continue to invest and have projects at Memorial Stadium that we're working on and will continue to roll out over the coming years and certainly within this 5-year type window. So well phrased and thoughtful question. And there's never been more change ahead in college athletics and at Clemson for the next 5 years.
Let y'all guys get to it. I'm gonna get on back to work, man. I do appreciate you coming on, for your time and everything. I know you're extremely busy, man, and everybody out there, peace, love, and bacon grease.
I love it, Shane. Thank you.
So, Graham, I want to tag on a little more on what he just said. And with it, I know that there has been a lot of discussions going on with FSU and Clemson. I know that it's been resolved. Do you see the grant of rights deal maybe being adjusted again for more revenue sharing, or what do you see maybe even happening for the ACC in the coming years?
Yeah, I mean the settlement with the ACC was a milestone from in March. So it's been a month or two now, and really proud first and foremost of how we Clemson. And this is at all levels, our board of trustees, president, our coaches, our student athletes, of how we navigated that difficult time, right? You're in litigation with your conference. It's not easy. But we tried to stay very true to being good members of the ACC and good colleagues of the other schools that we day to day with on meetings and strategize and then ultimately compete against. And so that was our focal point for the past year of that timing. And I'm therefore excited of having some finality to that. And then also the adaptability of the ACC, right? And it's a different financial model now where there's more dollars that are allocated towards football and basketball programs that drive viewership, which means drives brand and value to our TV partners in ESPN. And so now there's some proportionality to how that works, which is an innovative approach. Certainly something that we're very supportive of, and part of that solve, so to speak. And I think it's going to behoove the Atlantic Coast Conference, let alone Clemson, to the end that, listen, a strong ACC is good for Clemson. Strength of schedule, perception, all of those things. And also a strong Clemson is really good for the ACC. And so that reciprocity is I think now more important than ever. And that's going to be our focus, to be great members of the conference we're in, and to help lift and provide value to the ACC and to our other conference mates.
I like that. And then real quick, last question I want to ask you. The softball has taken, unprecedented jumps. I mean, I got to tell you, it is like pulling teeth to get a ticket for that. It's so popular. It is a hot commodity. And, I've heard rumblings that you guys may be expanding seating for the stadium. Can you confirm that?
I can. We are looking at it. I cannot confirm that we've squirreled away 2 reserve seats for the Sportz Nutz. So that is not confirmed, Brandon. Thank you. But yeah, listen, we have designs in place to add seats down our third baseline and towards the left field to add capacity. Right? It's demand's a good thing. What that looks like from an economic standpoint and a interest standpoint, but also it's been beyond our expectations of clearly when we built the stadium beyond to what that demand is. And so so we want to expand the stadium for us to continue to host power matchups, conference series, and non-conference matchups. ACC, we actually host the ACC softball championships next year, so a year from now. But we're working, so we have plans to expand the stadium, but we're working on timing and financing, I guess I'd say it that way, to the end of, right, business model is changing in college athletics and revenue share and NIL. So we've kind of put a little bit of a pin in many of our facility projects just to level set our business and investments, so to speak. But know that the softball stadium investment and expansion is top of the list as we are able to get to it from a facility standpoint.
Absolutely. Cannot wait to hopefully get a chance to go to a softball game. My wife and I have been trying to go for 2 years now, and just haven't had the luck of finding a ready ticket, but hopefully we'll get the chance to go. Graham, I thank you from the bottom of my heart coming on my show and talking to us about the daily lives of Clemson. Can you let people know where they can follow Clemson and and maybe even follow you as well?
Yeah, no, thanks, Brandon. We have the socials, and I try to be active on Twitter, just with professional stuff with our department and a little bit of some peek behind the scenes, and and I splash in some personal connectivity there too as well. But here's the plug that I would leave you with is we have Clemson Plus, which is our direct to consumer. It's our app. Think Disney Plus or Netflix. Those are big in the Neff house with 3 boys, and I know the Keeler house with 4 girls. And so, so we have a dedicated, created app for our content and storytelling called Clemson Plus. You can get it by way of being an IPTAY member. So join IPTAY. We have over 22,000 IPTAY members, and for as little as $60 a year to become an IPTAY member. And again, you get many benefits, but access to Clemson Plus is one of those. And so we have all kinds of storytelling, long form, docu-series, short form, vlogs, behind the scenes stuff, interviews, podcasts, archival footage. So if you want to go and watch the 2016 or the 2018 national championship game and key games, we have those on there. Love pulling those up for family weekends or holiday time. So Clemson Plus is my plug, just to continue that awareness of that really unique app that we have that is now taking root from a following and a media standpoint. So, Brandon, I really, really appreciate you having me on. I know you're coming up on your centennial anniversary with your program, which is a big mile marker. Congratulations to you as you continue to grow your following and messaging. Come down and see us this fall and otherwise. So thanks for the time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to be there. We're going to cheer on. Not only we're cheering on football, we're going to cheer on basketball, both men's and women's, obviously. And then we're going to do some softball. And I'm really wanting to try and make it to a couple baseball games, but definitely gymnastics too. So thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and we will stay in touch. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Sound good?
Would love that. Thank you, Brandon. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Take care, Graham. Guys, what a fantastic member we had come on our show. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I mean, Graham Neff is, a great individual, and Clemson is doing big things. They're only going to get even better. And for those who don't know, Clemson has a top-notch football program. Dabo Sweeney has done phenomenal things for the school, for the upstate of South Carolina, actually for the whole state of South Carolina. He's brought like life back into the Palmetto Bowl, which is Clemson versus University of South Carolina. It's so much that's going on in this state. I hope you guys get a chance to check out Clemson. Follow Graham Neff on the socials. Follow Clemson. Follow every athletic event they have. It's a lot of fun. And guys, you know me. I am not a singular fan of one thing. I am a diehard University of Hawaii guy, but I will cheer on Clemson. Absolutely, will cheer on them. Shout out to literally every school that is in the upstate. And by the way, in case you guys did not know, the news broke this morning. It broke last night at almost midnight, but officially it was announced that Limestone University is shutting its doors, ceasing operations within the next couple of weeks. Actually, it's a huge news story. It's devastating news because it's almost a 200-year-old university, and unfortunately, they are shutting the doors. Transfer portal is open to take all the athletes who were at Limestone. The school is going to assist in getting the kids to programs of their choice, hopefully. But hey, it's okay. We support Limestone. Shout out to all the current and former Saint players of Limestone University. And look, Hank here. All right, so I got to read this one comment from Hank. Sportz Nutz is going to be on ESPN one day. Hank, I hope so. And then Hank just said, my loyalty can change a little bit after that interview. Hey, guys, we had a absolute blast. Thank you to every one of you who watched not only today, but watched yesterday's episode and has also watched the day before Friday afternoon and Friday evening's episode. Friday afternoon last week, we had Colin Lacey, the play-by-play announcer of your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets or the Rambling Wreck, whichever you want to call it. They're still fun to call. And then obviously we had our episode number 99, which was a good episode. Great engagement. Had a lot of fun. All right, what is coming up? And then also yesterday we had shout out to the Columbus Clingstones. Shout out to Jonathan Hughes, the pitcher of the Columbus Clingstones, the Atlanta Braves. The whole organization is top notch. And then of course shout out to Graham Neff for taking time out of his day to come and talk some Clemson athletics with us. What is going on this week will be this Saturday, guys. We will have our 100th episode live on location at our sponsor, Tequila's Grill and Easley. You want to come by and meet us, we'd be open arms with you. We will be giving away merchandise, tickets, gift cards, everything. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, we have a guest, Kenyone Leahy, which is a very well-known individual at the state of Hawaii. His dad, Jim Leahy, called almost all UH athletics games, and Kenyone is coming on. We cannot wait to have him on. So, guys, with that being said, for our good friend Shane, as he told you, peace, love, and bacon grease, our good friend Matt, who says, don't get flagged in the game of life. Hank says, thank you for coming on to our wonderful show. For Graham Neff, for everybody at Clemson, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. We will see you Saturday. We will be live from 6:30 to 9. Show will start at 7:30 as usual. Until then, guys, as I always tell you, peace up. A-Town down why it's the greatest sports city there ever was. Guys, you have a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the outro. Take care and good afternoon.